Hello everyone. This tutorial is to show you how to build electro-pneumatic circuit in Pneumatic Developer app. Again, this is to show you how to build electro-pneumatic circuit using the Pneumatic Developer app. So what you have to do is that, if you have watched my first video, the left hand side there, the icons there, the top one, the spanner and the screwdriver, is where you can get the pneumatic components and the other electrical components. So just click on that and then the gas, not the gas, the gauge there is the pneumatic components. So just click on that and then start looking for your pneumatic components. So I'll pick the supply element and then I'll pick the regulator and filter. And the next thing is that I'm going to get the 5-2. So I'll pick the 5-2 and place it here. And I'm just going to get the cylinder, but before that, I think I will to make it run slowly, I will pick the flow regulator, this one, and then put it here. And then go for the double acting cylinder and drop it somewhere here. I think for now it's okay, so I will go and configure the rest of the components by deselecting the gauge, the pressure gauge. So I will just turn this one slightly and it's okay for me. If I double click on the DCV, the directional control valve, I can choose what component, the actuating element. So I'll pick solenoid on the left and then pick again solenoid on the right, and the name, I will name it Y1 because solenoids are labeled as Y, letter Y for Yankee, and the right one will be Y2, and I would say okay. So I've got my I've got my directional control valve configured, and then what I'm going to do is to connect them. So I will click on the node and do the connections. And I'll make it slightly bold, do the connections, and that is that. I will double click on the exhaust here and pick the silencer, click OK, double click on that there, pick another silencer, click OK. So the pneumatic circuit is done. What I need to do next excuse me, what I need to do next is to get the electrical components. So I'm just going to go back to the spanner and then click on the light bulb and get the electrical components. So I need what I need is I need a coil here. I'll drop the coil somewhere here, and then I'll go for normally open button here and I will go for this normally open contact here. I will go for another contact which is normally closed, drop it somewhere here. And then I think I would need the solenoid valve, and I will go for another normally open contact and drop it somewhere here because I want to latch this circuit. And I think I need one more, so I'll drop it somewhere here. Now I need the power supply, so let me see where the power supply is. pick the 24 volts and I'll drop it somewhere here. I'll pick the 0 volt and I'll drop it somewhere here. I'll just exit this electrical components, and then what I want to do is just the valve, the 5-2 valve. I want it to be a solenoid and spring return. So I'll double click and do some change here. This one I'll click empty so that I can get it empty, and I'll click on it again, and I'll click empty. I will just click on spring here, so that I want a solenoid and spring return. That's what I want. And then go back to it. Sorry, spring return. This is giving me trouble. Okay, that's fine. So now I've got this here. What I'm going to do is I will just move this somewhere here. I need some space. I need some space here. So I'm going to connect some of them. But before that, let me bring this solenoid here, somewhere here, which is fine. And then I'll bring that one here, that's fine. So this should be okay for me. I'll just connect them. If I need anything else, I'll go and get it. Then I'll connect this and that. Okay. Now I'll connect this to that. I'll connect this to that. This to that. Then this to that. This to that. Good. Then I'm going to latch this to that. This to that. Now I have to identify my coil and the solenoid. So I'll click on the coil first, double click on it. So I have to exit the node, double click on it, and I will name that one as K1, because coils or relays are labeled as K. So that K1, if it's 2 or 3, K2, K3, then the solenoid is supposed to be Y1, as I've done on the valve there. Now this coil, the one I've just highlighted, so the contact supposed to be a coil for, sorry, supposed to be a contact for the relay coil K1. So I'll double click on it and name it as K1. And then I'll say okay. And then this one that I have highlighted here, this contact highlighted, supposed to be a contact for the relay coil K1. So I'll double click on it. And name that one K1 as well. Okay, then what I'm going to do is to have let me just go and configure the cylinder. So I'll double click on the cylinder, and you see on the right hand side, sorry, down below here, you see sensors. So click on the sensors, and then the name of the sensor, that's the position of the sensors. I'll say S1, and 0 is fine. S2, I would say I would say 10, meters, which is the maximum travel for it, which is okay for me. So now that I've configured my cylinder, when I come here, you see the highlighted cylinder, you see S1 and S2 there. Good. So that is okay for me. Now what I'm going to do is to make sure I name, let me go back, the highlighted, uh, what is it called? The highlighted contact there, I'll name it S1. So I'm going to name it S1. And this one here, I will name it S2, just to break the contact anytime the cylinder outstrokes. I did a slight mistake here. I will just delete that one. Good. And then I'll connect this somewhere here. Good. So that now that is working. So I think everything is fine. Well, let me name this push button to, let me name it as PB. PB. So I think everything is fine and it should work once um, we start the simulation. It should work. Once we start the simulation, it should work. So let's start the simulation and see what we can have. So you can see we've got everything in place and the simulation is here. Now, just a moment. Yes, good. So I'm going to, so you can see it that it's our stroke and goes back the moment I close the circuit. Okay, let me just quickly go back and adjust the flow control. So the flow control, I'll take it to maybe 5%, which is fine. And then let's start the simulation again and let's close it. So this is how to, do this circuit. And if you have any problem, don't forget to, contact me. You can also, like my video and subscribe to it. And thanks very much for watching.